If you want to sell something worthless, you have to invest in its package. Because for most people, the package reflects the value of its contents. Now, I'm sure that you've heard about these circles of people called the Illuminatis. Well, Illuminati, it's in Italian. In English, it's illuminators. In French, it's enlumineur. And in Hebrew, it's seraphim, meaning serpents, but most especially inflamers. These people were master artists specialized into decorating scriptures with exquisite drawings and paintings in order to highlight the contents of the scriptures. But the truth is that they were more specialized into embellishing lies in order to make them believable. And embellishing lies is precisely what NASA is doing by creating all that virtual reality around the Earth and space, by faking space missions with fake astronauts and phony scientists, by spending money without limits to build a space shuttle openly heading towards deep space, while actually a few minutes later heading towards deep sea. So I understand that in order to sell such huge lies to so many people, they have to invest so much. But in order to fight these people successfully, we have to understand why the lie and who is behind it. Because I tell you what, I believe we've reached a point where besides exposing lies, our priority should be to explain them and to explain the evil behind them. Because not only these lies are actually crimes, very serious crimes against mankind, against humanity, but when you take a look at the people behind them, you see that they are lying about a great many other things. They are lying about almost everything we believe in. You understand? Now, knowing all this makes me obsessed in understanding who these people are, what are their origins. And the last time I was checking the Torah to find some clues, about them, maybe, in ancient times, well, I found something I have to share with you. And this is what we're going to talk about now. Okay, so now let's think together. First of all, you know that in the Torah, in Judaism, and in reality, Israel's worst enemy is called Amalek. Now today, all these circles of people behind all these lies about almost everything can also be designated as Amalek. Now, in the Torah, there are a couple of very subtle indications that show us that Amalek was indeed present and active before the flood already, in that generation before Noah's flood. Now, the first indication we have is the word emhe, that is only repeated twice in the Torah, to describe God saying, I will erase, mankind from the surface of the earth before the flood. And when he says, I will erase the memory of Amalek later on. So out of this fingerprint, this word, we know that before the flood, there was a people named Amalek that was responsible of all evil on earth. And that was this particular people that God wanted to erase back then. That's one. Now, the very name of Amalek also appears when God says that all the secret stuffs of mankind were evil all day long. In Hebrew, it's rak ra olayom, were evil all day long. And each of the last letters of each of these four words actually shows the name of Amalek. This is a very subtle way to indicate that actually Amalek was indeed present and very active back then before the flood. Now, there's no details about these secret evil thoughts, people had back then. All it is written is that the earth had been corrupted because all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth. Now, by analyzing this important verse, there are a few important things to understand. Now, all flesh corrupting its ways obviously talks about degenerate, insane, unhealthy physical behaviors like homosexuality, pedophilia, incest, and all kinds of sexual disorders. And this might be one of the reasons why the animals had to come to the ark as pairs, natural couples, in order to regenerate life and not degenerate it. You understand? Now, since after the flood, meat was allowed to eat, but without blood, the blood was forbidden. So we can also deduct that maybe also the nutrition back then had also been corrupted, like it is today. You understand? Now, our previous investigations led us to understand how the origins of Amalek are traceable all the way to the snake, which actually had the objective of seducing people by making them believe they could be like God and they could actually maybe even replace God. And this is exactly what's behind all these lies, about the earth and the shape of the earth. Forget about God. There's no God. You are a God. You are, powerful with technology and, you can do even better than, any God could have done before. So that's the message. It's the same spirit. You understand? Now, since it is written that the earth had been corrupted because all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth, so you have to deduct that we are talking here about the ways of the earth that had been corrupted as well. Now, if you believe that when it's written that the earth was corrupted or had been corrupted, it is talking about the population of the earth that corrupted itself. Well, it wouldn't really make sense in the Torah to repeat twice the same thing by saying, okay, the population of the earth had been corrupted because the population of the earth, corrupted all its ways. No. Here you have to understand that it is actually the ways of the earth that had been corrupted. That means the mechanisms of the earth that had been corrupted. And since man cannot alter, the mechanisms of the earth, he can only lie about them. So you can deduct that, in fact, those ways of the earth that were corrupted actually reflects the lies about the ways of the earth that were spread upon that generation as well. Now, al in Hebrew means also about. And when you read that all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth, you can also read that it was about the earth. You understand? So back then also, we can deduct that there was some kind of an evil elite of people that succeeded into making its own generation believe that the earth was not working the way they believed, and that there was no God, there was no dome, and all that. This is a first approach, a first deduction of what could have been back then. But then we're going to keep on going, and you're going to see that it's actually what was happening. Now, if you want to understand what were these evil thoughts these evil people had all day long, what they were obsessed with, secretly obsessed with all day long. So you have to dive a little deeper in the Torah. And if you look at these four words, rak, ra, kol hayom, only evil all day long, you can see that these very words actually hide likmor arikia, and that the thoughts of these people that they had all day long, this secret obsession they had, was in fact to heat up the dome. So you see how today's NASA's obsession to erase that dome, if not physically, at least from mankind's memory, was actually the obsession of Amalek back then. To erase the dome, if not physically, from mankind's memory, in order to erase God from mankind's memory. And this is probably why God declared that I will erase the memory of Amalek, just like Amalek wanted to erase the memory of God. You understand? And what seems to confirm all this is that after the flood, God chooses the rainbow as a reminder of the alliance between him and the entire mankind. Because the rainbow is but a reflection of the sun on the dome. And as a reminder of his alliance between him and the earth, the rainbow is also a reminder that there is a dome and that this world is indeed his creation. So all that confirms that the dome was at the very center of the obsession of the thoughts, the evil thoughts of Amalek back then, just like it is today, for NASA. Now I ask you a question. Wasn't the flood at a planetary scale the best way to prove that the Earth was flat? Isn't it the best way to prove to all those that survived the flood and all their descendants that the Earth is flat? Now, just like Solomon said, there is nothing new under the sun. And that war we are living about flat Earth actually started a very long time ago. And what we are living today is the last battle of the longest war ever.